What's up? Hello, everybody, and welcome to the rundown. And I believe this is week 5. It
It's
is
a week 5 review, yeah.
yeah. But we don't care about next week yet. I'll talk when we hit next week. I'll say welcome to week 6.
Top day. I'm gonna take it off.
Oh, bruv, thanks for washing up to get on stream.
Mrs. pointed it out earlier. So what's that? I don't know.
So not only did you decide to come on stream with food on your shirt, someone else had.
Headline.
Oh my gosh!
Awful, isn't it?
Oh wow! Welcome to the rundown, brought to you by Sport Tank, Steve's Tan Lines, and his dude.
Well, yeah, at least we know who we can go to for sponsors. Stu said, "Good evening, Stu."
Yeah, good evening, Stu. Who? Oh, Russ, what a week of results.
Oh,
indeed.
That's exactly what we're here for, Russ, to talk about that and any other thing that Oz and I can fit in. or not avoid.
Unfortunately, in the next 2
don't want to be here very long, but we both are too impulsive and unrestrained to get this thing down from anything that's like what are we 90-minute average probably?
Mate, I think last week's was closer to
over 90-minute average.
I remembered looking at the clock when we were like we'd finished the preview. The reviews. We'd finished the reviews and we were into the preview, and it was like 5 to 9, and I was like, "Mate, we're gonna be done."
Yeah.
And then next thing I'm looking at the fucking clock, and it's like 10 to 10. I was like, "What happened to my life?"
Willie Mike's here. My companion yesterday down in for a double-header live stream. It was rough. It was hard work yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it may not seem it. But like you just go like you got stints of just like you're on your feet and you're constantly concentrating, and I think it's tough for Mike because he's obviously just come from a coaching role at Solent, so he knows a lot more people. People are constantly trying to talk to him, and it was hard, but it was good. It was good fun. But yeah.
Good evening, Tony. Thank you for joining us again
tonight.
Yeah,
nice.
We're probably going to ruin that, but
we'll upset at least one of you by the end of this show.
I think we're we just say it's 8:30 till fuck knows. That's what our chalkboard is. It's definitely. I think at the moment we're averaging about one banned person per stream for these rundowns, where someone just takes exception to what we have to say, and then you brought food as well. Well, good.
When am I supposed to eat? I started putting my kids to bed at 6:15.
Well, whose choice was it to have kids?
That's cold. That's come out of the.
You didn't see. You're the only one. You're the one who wanted to have kids run a website.
Last one was a pure accident, and it's the third. Well, technically the fourth, but the third boy.
Yeah,
the third alive one.
I wasn't going to go down that path, bro. I really wasn't.
These are jokes that only I can make.
Yeah, well, I've made them before, and then I felt really bad for like 5 seconds.
But yeah.
I was gonna say something along the lines of like it wasn't like it might have been your choice to have them, but it wasn't your choice to have less. But
I can confirm that. Yeah. But anyway, so we some.
There it is. This is the first person. Like, wait, are we joking about Knocker's dead children? Don't worry,
it's quite serious.
Moving on.
We're so anyway, we got some really good results to talk through.
Mate, I was because that's the thing. Like this weekend, for those of you who don't know, I'm gonna say those of you who don't know, nobody knows what I do on my weekends because I come on here on a Monday and then I'm gone for the rest of it.
I do have a question for you actually. Go on, sorry.
Okay, but I buggered off. I went down south. I went to Leeds and I went to a rock concert on the weekend.
Down south is Leeds.
Yeah, it is down south from where I'm at. Mate, it's like a 2-hour drive.
You're the most northern person I know now in the country.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, Tom is fuming right now with the Highland Stags talking about the most northern. He's like north. I'll show you.
I said the country, England. He's in another country.
Yeah, he is in another country.
Come on, but don't mess with me.
Yeah, my geography is unparalleled. So bugging off down south, went to Leeds for a concert. So I had we left on Saturday, and then I pretty much had sort of phone in pocket to spend time with the missus and have a good day out in Yorkshire and everything. Both Saturday, Sunday, have a good weekend because the weather was beautiful, mate. Like I don't know what it was like actually down south where you guys were, but like yeah, there you go. So I think we
didn't start off this. It started off miserable.
Yeah,
which was weird, pissing it down. So I was thinking, I'm gonna hate today, and then it 180'd and it was lovely.
Mate, it was,
but then I was unprepared for that too. So I was just
that
happened, and my head is killing me.
T-shirt Steve,
sunburn on the top and the back of my head.
Mate, just get the missus come in with a wet cloth and just plop it on top, just a damp cold cloth. But so I didn't check out. Like I've only just started to look at scores in the last sort of 10 minutes while waiting for you to jump on stream. And there's already been a few that I looked at and I was like, big eyebrows, big eyebrows. So I'm excited.
I'm quite interested because I can't remember what our predictions were. Need a boonie, yeah. Apparently,
mate, I'll tell you what. I'll talk to the folks back home. I'll get you one with the corks on it to keep the flies away.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think it was you that told me about the fly thing. I just thought that was like a decorative thing.
Sorry, my cat's decided to fuck around.
Yeah, I can see Lancelot running around.
Yeah,
it's good to see him actually in motion. Everything I see of him is an image till now.
Oh,
on Facebook.
No, that's a lie. The missus posts all the videos as well.
Oh yeah, I don't watch videos. I don't watch.
Okay.
I ain't got time. I'm
scrolling,
choice. Right. Friends reunited in the Sport Tank live stream.
Well, I'm more saying like what's going on. The fact that someone, we got a comment for Neil Gibbs, but I can tell you right now, Neil Gibbs hasn't said a thing here because I know Neil and he hasn't commented. He doesn't give a shit about this show.
Hey, maybe Stephen's inviting him in, and he's like, "Look, I'm just giving him some content for him to." He might have tagged them.
So we're just here for Stu and Stephen to catch up.
You guys carry on. Carry on.
Fucking crack on. Don't worry about us.
Can we get you anything?
Yeah. Have you got anything you'd like us to talk about, Stu and Steve? Like, can we help? Yes. Can we make this a proper Sunday night catch up for you?
Steve, what would you say is the nicest thing about Neil?
But what would you? Can you imagine? Just like you just what do you want to do on Sunday? I don't know. Do you want to sit down, turn on Sport Tank's? On Monday, turn on Sport Tank's rundown, just have a chat.
Let's catch up then. Look, I know we're face to face now.
Yeah, leaving the game on Sunday. All right, mate. All right, great game today. I'll see you on Monday night in the chat.
Oh, brilliant. Anyway,
Steve and I understood it would be Dreadnoughts because I don't know you, but I know Stu and I know Teebs, also known as Neil Gibbs, because I played for the Dreadnoughts.
You were a Dreadnought superstar.
I don't know about that. Only in one game. Only in one game.
No. Hey,
in the final. In the final.
Enough.
In the final. That we lost.
You were quality in that game,
mate.
You were brilliant. I loved watching it. Didn't like watching you lose, but I do like the cheaters as well. So
Oh, that's the thing. Russ. We got Russ with us, so we can't talk shit about the cheaters too much. No, should we get like we're only 10 minutes in.
What I wanted to understand was did you do anything for the King's coronation? How did you celebrate?
I don't think that we should especially be celebrating someone who all he managed to do was be born and stay alive.
He's done a great job of it.
That's his whole achievement. His whole achievement was he was born.
Are you saying to me that he hasn't done a good job of doing that?
No, have you seen him? The cunt looks fucked.
His fingers are done for, he needs to get them chopped off.
Mate, he looks like a Prince Philip starter kit, but like Prince Philip now, who's been dead for like 4 years. Looks like you ordered the corpse of Prince Philip off of Wish, and that's what's turned up. Like he does not look in a good way. But it's like it's quite funny. I was thinking about it, like with the coronation, because everybody's like, "Oh, Charles is so old," and just moving on. It's like, man, I remember 10 years ago, people were like, "Oh, Harry should be king. Harry should be king." Now it's like everybody's like, "Fuck, man, I hope he doesn't mention his book." Like no one wants to buy.
Handing out signed copies to the crowd.
Do you know what's worse? Do you know what's worse? Right? Do you know what's worse? Like. Harry was like walking around dressed as Hitler doing Nazi salutes, and people are like, "Oh, he's just a kid. We love him." But he stands up for his wife. People are like, "Fuck that cunt."
Yeah, I know. I think you'll always find any sort of extreme narrative. It's the extreme narratives that prevail, right? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I live right near Windsor. My missus is from Windsor, and
is she a royalist or is she a revolutionary?
No, she's not. I wouldn't say she's either. But people from Windsor do have an air of like, there is an air of pride and an air of respect for the royal family and just like royalty. You know, like apparently loads of people in Windsor know of loads of little tunnels that lead from the castle to older buildings like pubs or whatever that are underground. But they're like swear themselves to secrecy, and they're all unused anyway, right? But like just like little weird like little secrets that exist, and they're very proud of. Like, it's not just Windsor Castle. There's like the Long Walk, and then
what you're telling me is your missus
and all that, and so they're proud to be sort of part of it. You know. So yeah, there's. I wouldn't say she's not like an extreme royalist or anything, but yeah, they're definitely this sort of like.
What you're telling me is your missus is from Hogsmeade. Is what you're telling me? Just like, like little paths from the castle to the pub. It's like, you know, just where old Harry Potter's going to come through.
But they're one of the like paupers.
Yeah.
But, So it's I like, but people from Windsor will either will leave Windsor or stay for the
What is that?
I don't know.
Is that a bat? Is that a bear?
It's a ball, and I can't click on it. It's not.
I don't know what it is. Oh, it's a football with a face.
A football with like an angry open mouth face.
Oh wow! I mean, that's cool.
It's unique. I think he's trying to tell us to talk about football, but we're not. We're going to keep talking about the royal family.
I'm not going to talk about the royal family. I want to talk about the emotion that he's created. Fuck some people. Fuck the royal family. Annoyed. How have you created this?
I think it's just a sticker. It's probably just a sticker in Facebook.
Well,
I haven't created it.
Not you, him. I want Samuel to let us know how he's. This is amazing.
Neil, where'd you get that from?
Mate, this thing's more amazing than the royal family.
Yeah, but yeah, you get people that stay away from it because it clogs up all the roads and it's like everything shuts down, all the security is increased. And you get people that love it and just want to stay all day, stood there like that, waiting to see one of them.
Yeah, having a jerk off, hoping Prince Andrew touches their hand as they walk by.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent to it.
Well, you get people that travel for that, right? Like my friends in America.
What's on the menu, Steve? Nathan wants to know.
Oh yeah, it's my leftovers from the other day. It says onion bhaji and sagaloo, so potato, spinach, and onion bhaji. It's cold, which is not too. And I got a couple of Haribos left in a bag that I'm going to have.
It looks like it's in a tinfoil container, so you should just whack it in the microwave to heat it up and see how it goes.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. But anyway, do you know what? Right, our conversation. You know, we had that. We got into it about something last week. I don't remember what the fuck it was.
It was about the coaches convention.
Oh yeah.
Season.
That triggered quite.
I was going to say, did you end up just getting bombarded with people wanting to talk about it on Sunday at the game?
No, not really. But a lot, but quite a few people who don't normally write messages into us did do so during the week. So yeah, it's funny on the weekends, like the live streams. I don't really tend to get people talking about the contents of this show. They just like to talk about what we're doing with the live stream, which is
so they just would like to talk about what's relevant as opposed to what's irrelevant.
yeah.
So the people that come and talk to you
delineate
the people that come and talk to you on a live stream are just normal people and not completely fucked like me and you, where we jump from one topic to another to another to another.
I don't know why people watch us. Yeah. But my food that I eat too is now becoming a thing. The meal deal question thing. So at the live streams, I always bring 2 or 3 meal deals for us to eat, like for the crew to eat throughout, and it's become like a running joke. Like, Chris,
are you noticing inflation with these? Like, is this how you get
shrinkflation? So
are they getting smaller
portions? Yeah, like more stingy on the fill-in, and and less quality of coverage, but it's all right.
I've never been a meal deal kind of guy, right? It's never been my thing.
Wow. But I don't even know why you're on this podcast.
Well, it's because when I first yeah, fuck off. When I first arrived in the country, someone was like, "Oh, just get us a meal deal." I was like, "Fuck's a meal deal?"
Yeah.
Like, Because that's another thing. Like fast food, in terms of fast food, we don't call them like whenever you go to like a fast food place and you order like burger, chips, drink.
Yeah,
we don't call that a meal. We call that a combo. Where I come from, it's a combo. Right. So when someone was like a meal deal, I was like, "What the fuck's a meal deal?" And then I was working down in Southampton and went to Tesco and I was living in Pompey, right? And then went to the Tesco, and then they're like, "Oh, this is a meal deal," and I think it was
everyone's now started copying Tesco. Like there's a Waitrose.
Oh, but Sainsbury's have got them, everybody. But I can't remember. I feel like they were a lot cheaper back in like the mid 2010s, like in like 2015, 2016. Like, I don't know if it was always a $5 or something. I felt like they were cheaper and you got more. And then someone was saying that's how you measure inflation.
I don't know. It's always in free items, but yeah, So the reason Mike's bringing it up is there's a photographer, Chris Coop, and he's a prick because he keeps capturing me
mid mouth.
Yeah, eating. Yeah. And it's like hilarious. And he said, you should do like meal deal reviews and stuff.
And that's all you ever do.
His favorite thing to do.
Everybody's like, why does the camera angle still? It's because you're just fucking always munching. That's why the camera never follows the ball. It's like the players just run out of screenshot because you're just too busy having a munch.
I was bad with that yesterday because of the fucking sun, the glare. I just couldn't see stuff. It was bad. I tried to put my glasses on and then everything just went black on the screen. So I was like, I don't know how to win this. Because in some
you need to get under the hood. You need to get like a proper hood.
Well, we're buying a couple of gazebos.
Nice.
And then what I'll need to do for the static one, because we have a static camera usually up a tower if we can, or an elevated position.
Yeah,
we'll get like a
just a big
umbrella.
A big hat.
Fuck me,
just a big hat.
A hat with an umbrella.
Get like Inspector Gadget. Like just buy an Inspector Gadget costume and they can fucking.
And then the camera will drop out of it as well.
Yeah, exactly. And he'll just hover. He will just hover over the ground like a drone. Just go Gadget.
We could use drones. I've got a couple of drones, but we can't use drones at football. That's like explicitly banned. So
by BAFTA?
Sport Tank baseball cap. Yeah, I've got one of them. I never wear.
I'm glad you do.
I might do that.
So the drones is explicitly banned at football by BAFTA or by?
Yeah. It's in the rules. Yeah, you can't have drones.
Should we ever talk about how some of this football went?
Yeah, let's talk about that because there was some good. I'm quite interested because I can't remember my predictions.
I've got them.
I know you've got them down.
I've got them here.
Yeah, so drones should be allowed, and if they were, I would have drone footage. Well, we'd have to have someone to man it, but imagine us like zooming the fucking thing around and getting that shot, like following the ball on a punt or something. Running into a player. No. Imagine trying to follow a player on a punt return.
No, not even following a player on a punt, just hovering it above the line of scrimmage and just like moving it back with the QB.
In between a centre and a nose guard. Yeah, just spinning it around.
Yeah.
That's why they're not allowed drones.
Because I flying behind the running back as he fucking makes his cuts. And
I can't be trusted.
And then it turns out the running back's running a counter, and you just fly the drone straight into the backside pulling
guard. Referee throws a flag, and you try and land on the drone, and then just fly off with the flag.
Yeah, just
we use it for training. Yeah. The shots you get from these drones are just amazing.
It's much better than just a fucking GoPro on a stick.
Yeah, awesome. But anyway, GoPro on a stick isn't bad either. Like,
no, it's just like okay. I'm not fucking banging on GoPro on a stick. All I'm saying is
25 foot up in the air, man.
Yeah, like GoPro on a stick is like it's mid tier. It's like if you were gonna tier them like S to F,
you should do this.
GoPro on a stick is like a good B tier. It's like it's not A tier, but it's not S tier. It's just the drone.
Yeah, but it's still good. It is good.
Yeah, it's still good. It's serviceable.
Anyway, let's run with it.
You can't run with it. But so we're looking at the Prem North to start with, as always. We're starting to get the hang of how we're going to review these now. So we'll start with the best division geographically north, the Prem North. Exactly away we go.
Yeah, it goes by the pyramid of divisions. Start at the top. And then geographically,
it's like, if it was on a line graph, you'd be cross-referencing the X and the Y axis because you've got the talent level and also the geographic location, and it'd be meeting. There we go.
Consistent.
for a great scatter graph.
Goalpost, that's decent.
So Titans versus Merseyside, and the Titans blew them out of the water 60-0. So Manchester Titans 60, Merseyside Nighthawks 0.
Yeah,
mate, this is a bad season for the Nighthawks.
Shaping up that way. We had the Nighthawks Exiles conversation last week, and I think that's going to resurface this week.
Yeah, it's a bad year
for both of them. I know we haven't got there yet, but you know, it's obviously Manchester just continue to look strong, man. And
well, that's the thing. It's like I said, I don't think there's a match that they need to worry about for the rest of the season.
No. But yeah, like 60-0. What a fucking scoreline. But yeah, it doesn't look good for Merseyside Nighthawks.
It's down to them and Leicester, I think.
That's what I think as well, yeah.
Because I think Edinburgh and EKP are going to sit above. Okay, so Nathan's just said Nighthawks versus Exiles in a 2023 toilet bowl game. I don't think it's right to call Prem teams toilet bowl. Like, even if you're the bottom of the Prem, you are still better than like 80% of the rest of the country.
You just don't have a winning season.
Yeah.
And the winning season is unfortunately the thing that attracts most players in this country. Mercenary players mostly, right?
Most mercenary players, definitely.
And at every level, everyone wants to go and I was talking to Dale, the QB for the Thrashers, about this yesterday.
For the Thrashers, yeah.
It's just like, you know, like you've got these, you've got, you know, clubs are made up of like core clubsmen, if you like.
The guys that are like the ride or die players. They joined as they came up through the youth or something, and usually by this point they're either grizzled veterans who are probably past their prime a little bit, but they've played for the club their entire life, sort of thing, their entire adult life. Or they're guys that have gone away, like if they're good enough, they've gone away, they've played maybe in Europe, or they've played somewhere like for another team because they had to move something, and then they've returned back to the team. But they are the core sort of heart of the players, and they'll generally make up down the track guys that take up the coaching positions, or they become the old boys club, and they make up the board
stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you got those, but I think the measure of a team, like a team that's able to have a losing record, let's call it a losing record, and maintain players, is one where those individuals, the individuals fitting into that category, work with those individuals that are a little bit more fleeting, you know. So like maybe your uni players they're only playing for your senior team for the 2-3 years that they're in the area because they're staying there because they play uni for a nearby team, right?
Or it's also the teams that are in sort of a high catchment area with other teams, and it might be they are the best team in that region currently. Yeah. But then if there's a flip,
then they'll move. But yeah, I think a lot of it hinges on the attitude of that club internally towards those players that are more fleeting, right? And I've been on teams that have gone both ways. Have been like, oh, I hate this, you know, these mercenary type players, and then I've been on teams that are like, it's just part of the squad,
mate.
You know,
it's
like,
crucial. They are crucial. Those mercenary players
are the ones that actually do better. You know, ultimately will move out of it into winning seasons.
Those mercenary players are crucial because a lot of the time they provide your squad depth. They are the what give you the ability to have the 45, 50 on the sideline on game day.
Yeah. And I think it's just about how they feel, how they're treated, how much game time they're getting, you know, and
but it's also how well the club's doing.
Raised that point.
How well the club's doing because you know, exactly, like you've just pointed out with Nathan's comment, you're only as good as your last game. When that downhill starts to go, your 50 on the sideline very quickly drops to 28, 29, low 30s.
So like, and that's what I mean. Like if you look after those players that are less committed, should I say? I mean, they're committed to the team they're playing for, but they'll jump.
Most of them are just they want to play football at a decent level and be happy with the game, like their result, so to speak. So, like, if it's a close loss, you're not really going to see mercenary players bugger off after a close loss, unless it was, you know, a lot of unforced errors, like you've lost to a team you should have put 40 on in response, sort of thing. And
but I mean, that's the thing. If things are falling down on the sideline and people are blaming each other, and it's not a nice environment to be in,
They're
as
gone.
in like it's hostile,
Yeah, they're
then
gone.
they'll go. But if you're able to create a nurturing environment, it's tough, right? Because you're losing and it's frustrating.
You need to have
But
a
if you're able
vision
to
as well.
focus on development and how the players are getting better and maintain, not the other thing is like playbooks, not throwing the playbook out the window with every loss and then trying to do a new one, just sticking to the same things and just getting better at what you do.
But
They'll
these
see
sort of
progress
losses,
and they'll stick around.
these sort of losses, like what Merseyside has encountered this season, these are the sort of ones that you're going to see guys move on.
Yeah, it's tough.
They have been struggling all year long.
Yeah, definitely.
And there you go. That's 100% down to it. People pay to play. It is not cheap to play American football.
Yep.
And they want return for their money. And that's not just game time. That's
why that winning record's important, right? Like,
yeah.
I want to go to a team that's winning. I want to be a winner.
Yeah, but it's also it's quality of play, and it's also like, people might go to a lesser quality club because they'll get more game time, or they might go to a higher quality club where they'll get less game time, but they'll be winning and they're enjoying winning,
and they'll
because
arguably better
fun with
coaching.
their friends. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right, moving on to the rest of the Prem North. So there was 3 games in the Prem North. Second game was Tamworth Phoenix 27, Leicester Panthers 6.
The Panthers went 6-0 up, and so I was obviously I was not, it's not obvious, but I was trying to look at the scores as much as I could, and while the broadcast was on and read them out, and yeah, the Panthers went 6-0 up, and I was like, oh no, like, but
keep in mind what we learned last week from the Tamworth game last week. QB1 last week broke his ankle for Tamworth.
Oh right, I didn't remember that. No, I didn't keep that in mind.
we were told last week that Tamworth's QB1 broke his ankle.
Right.
So they are running, and this is why I said that there was going to be no challenge for Manchester for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and I think that's right. But I also don't think that Tamworth are down and out, right? Like,
no, not at all. Like, they're still beating Leicester, but I just don't think they are.
And if you remember last year, they had a slow start. Like, they lost to Manchester. I'm not saying they'll come back and split and do that.
Last year, didn't they have the messed up preseason program last year where they didn't get to have their preseason until about sort of week, like the way that they treated last season was like weeks 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 was essentially their preseason because everything had been so disrupted in the build up.
So I just think they've had slow starts to the seasons, and I think and then gain momentum, and I think that's what we're going to see here is they'll start getting better and better results.
So Wesley's just said that the information we got last week might not be correct because he's not sure if it's broke, as he wasn't on crutches or in a cast this week. Okay. So could just be a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you ever saw the photos when I did
high ankle sprains are worse than breaks, man.
Yeah. Did you see when I went over in Rome, the Colosseum when I did mine? I'll show you the photos. I stepped in a pothole outside the Colosseum, and
fat bastard.
Mate, yeah, 100%. I went down like a 22 stone bag of shit. And the next day it was just black and across. And then the missus had me walking around Italy for the next 4 days. Like, we were doing all of the museums, all of everything. I was averaging about 30K steps a day on this fucking thing. And it went all the way up my back and my calf muscle. Like, it was just black and purple. And
well, it's funny, right? And I once broke my hand as a doorman.
You still having a jerk.
Fucking geezer. It was my fault. I put my hand on, like, we were getting him out, and put my hand on him there, and I was like, that's a dangerous place. And then he grabbed this finger here and bent it back and broke my hand. I was like, you prick. So I was like, it constantly hurt all night. And the next day I went to the hospital and they put me in a cast. And then that was like either a Friday or a Saturday, I can't remember. But by Thursday, they then took the cast off because they were like, you need mobility. You need to be moving it around. You need to be trying to use things. Yeah. So it could be that he might have, some form of longer term damage. That was like I was out for like 6 weeks with that, right? But yeah, you wouldn't know I had a broken hand walking around, so it could be something like that.
Well, yeah. So Wesley said he was limping for sure on Sunday, but it didn't look broken. And that Tamworth's offense looks poor at the moment, but the defense is still good. Leicester didn't score an offensive point, nor did they look like scoring one. So obviously that 6-0 up is a pick. Pick six, we're talking pick six or a fumble recovery or something like that. Okay. I think he is crucial for Tamworth's playoff hopes. Because if they're struggling to only put up 27, like if their defense is looking strong, that's going to help them against the rest of the teams in their division. I think now versus Edinburgh, it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's like you'd consider those two sort of deciders, wouldn't you? Those games
Exactly, but they're gonna yeah. There we go. Was pick six first
drive. Humber done a pick six first play.
Yeah, that's
75-yarder apparently.
But that's a new QB. That's nerves. That's things like that. Coming out. But it's going to be crucial for them for their playoff hopes. To get him back, just because 27 points against Leicester. No offense to Leicester, right? But 27 points from your offense.
Yeah, you'd expect someone like okay. Let's put it this way:
it's not going to cut it against teams like what the South is throwing out at the moment, and then the Edinburgh game is going to the reverse fixture for the Edinburgh game is going to be telling.
Yeah, well, before you interrupted me, what I was saying was
no, I always interrupt you.
You would expect.
What were you saying?
You would expect.
Can you just tell me what you're saying?
I'm trying my best.
Are you?
I might turn you off. I might just mute you. There we go. Right. So what I was saying was you would expect the two teams that are going into the playoffs from this division to put 30, 40 points plus on Leicester. That's my point. Please respond.
You want to mute my mic? You want to mute my mic? I'll take my headphones out.
Oh, is that what happened? All right, cool. Yeah. Then we'll never know.
I have no idea what you said.
Good. Right, let's move on.
Yeah.
The battle for Scotland went the way that we thought it was going to be. So, Edinburgh Wolves 37, East Kilbride Pirates 7. Actually, how did we do on the previous two for predictions? Manchester Nighthawks. Manchester. I did it again where I say the fucking team.
With
country. City for one team, and then the team name for the other.
Mate, you keep this up, people are going to start questioning your geography. We're 2 for 2. We had Titans and Phoenix winning, which, based on paper, is very, very chalk. None of us saw the Merseyside getting close to Manchester, and on paper, you would assume that the team that's been top 2 in the North would beat the newly promoted team. So even with or without injuries. Edinburgh, East Kilbride, we both picked Edinburgh as well. I would love to know how this game went down because it looks like it's quite a convincing victory for Edinburgh. So Edinburgh 37, East Kilbride 7.
I think if Tony's still watching, I'm fairly sure he was at the game. There we go.
Thank you, Tony. So Wolves dominated the line. EKP line got tied due to low lineman numbers. So not being able to rotate, they just it definitely sets up Leicester and EKP for a relegation battle. Like who goes down?
Well, what? Surely you put Merseyside in that as well.
Oh, actually, I don't think it's a relegation battle. I think Merseyside goes down.
Do you? Right. Okay.
Yeah, mate. I think they are in free fall.
Okay.
Because I think if you're at Leicester, you knew first season was going to be hard. You're not jumping ship after a couple of struggling results at Leicester because you knew that this season coming back up to the Prem, it was going to be hard. Same thing for EKP. You're coming up from Div 1. This season was going to be hard for you. Merseyside has been an established Prem team for about 7 or 8 years now. And they are in free fall, it feels like. Just looking at, again, based purely on results. I don't know anybody who plays for Merseyside, so I don't know what things are like inside the camp. That's pure speculation, but it's not going great for them.
Okay, moving on to the game that I was at that were live streamed. And so just before we get into the actual play, we had to split this over 2 live streams because there was a very severe injury. And I've been updated since about, so there were 2 Blitz players that went to hospital and actually have had operations for their injuries.
I was going to ask, I didn't know if you were at the Blitz Thrashers game or the Aztecs Exiles game, just because of your connections with Aztecs.
Solent Thrashers, London Blitz, I was at.
Cool. So
that's the one we live streamed.
Right.
Yeah.
So the score of this was 37 Blitz, Solent Thrashers 0.
Yeah.
Now go on.
And 2 Blitz players have had operations on injuries they sustained yesterday already.
Upper body, lower body.
Sorry?
I was just about to ask upper body, lower body.
Yeah, one was wrist and the other one, the severe one that stopped the game. And I mean, I've taken the footage down and I'm going to, because it was a bank holiday day, I was like, I'm just spending time with my kids, right? But I'm going to edit it and put it back up. But on the footage, there's probably, I think, 6 different players that see this player on the floor, see his injury, turn around and walk away, take the helmets off, bend down, like look like they're going to vomit. Like it was an extremely graphic leg injury. And they were talking about airlifting him, and like that's when we cut the stream when we heard they were airlifting, but they didn't. They managed to get him into an ambulance, but he's had one injury. He's had one surgery, and he's waiting for a second.
Jesus.
So which will be, I don't know, next couple of days. I've heard, but yeah.
Well, best of luck to both players. We hate to see injuries, and it's a part of the sport, but you still hate to see it.
Oh, mate, it was like both sides very shaken up. And
did it change the momentum post injury? Just because, again, I didn't see the stream. I haven't seen anything. It looks like the Blitz sort of got out. Like, to me, 37-0. It feels like the Blitz were comfortable the whole game.
Yeah, I think it was like 19-0 or something when they Nick was there. I think it was something at 19-0 when at point of
injury,
the stoppage. I don't know. Yeah, I've not thought about how the momentum changed. I felt like the game should have been abandoned, but then you're like, okay, well, and how how does that work? Well, I was chatting to some of the players on the Thrasher sideline. Like, do you reschedule? Do you take the score that is now? Because they were saying, well, we feel that we can go and score 19 points. This was literally the injury happened on the kickoff of the third quarter to open the second half.
Right. So they lied.
There you go. Look, that's what Nick's just said.
Yeah, but they lied.
No, but that's how they felt, right? So you think, well, if you
so there's a difference between feelings and reality, then.
But if it was in the fourth quarter and it was 19-0, you'd be like, you're probably not going to come back. And that's sort of what I put to them. And they're like, actually, we got a half. They've just had a half and scored 19. Why couldn't we do the same? And I was like, that's
because you're not the same quality of team.
It's a fair comment.
It's not. It's not a fair comment. It's because they're not the same quality of team. This is the question I wanted to put to you. This was the question I wanted to put to you. Where does this sit for Solent now? Because that is multiple. So obviously they had the tough loss against Cambridgeshire last week. I can't hear you. I think your sound is gone. We've lost Steve due to technical difficulties, and I'm sitting here stunned. Hello? No, I can't hear you. I don't know is it just me? Can anybody let us know? Is it me? Can anybody else hear Steve when he talks? Is it just me? Help us, people. Help us. No sound. Yeah, Stuart, I need something more defined than that, please. I need to know, is it no sound from Steve? No, Steve's. There we go, Glenn. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Nick. Oh, the irony. Microphone problems for Steve. The absolute irony.
There we go. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go. We can hear you now.
I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, so I was at the previous Thrashers game live stream. And there was probably just as many players there. Afterwards, I was chatting to a couple of players. They're not down and out, and I think.
Well, that's because Kent's still in the division.
No. I even think on this, with the Blitz as their opponent, they've got nothing to fear. They'll come off, and I know. So for me, the score doesn't necessarily reflect the amount of competition in that game. I know you're bullshit.
Because I'm just a box.
They were moving the ball really well. The Blitz O line were fantastic, right? But then the Thrashers D line were brilliant too, right? Like it was a really good game. And then like you sort of look at the scoreline, you think, oh, how has the other team not scored? That's what it sort of felt like when I was looking at it as like 19-0. But
because the reason I wonder about this,
the Thrashers are in good shape.
The reason I wonder about this, right, is because they don't play Cambridgeshire again. They split the series with Cambridgeshire. They played Cambridgeshire week 1, beat them 41-20.
Yeah. All you've got to do in the Prem South is beat Kent twice. That's hashtag beat Kent twice. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, and then their next game is against the Warriors.
Doesn't matter.
And
beat
then
Kent
they've got
twice.
Yeah, but
that's how you win.
That's how you stay up. You beat Kent twice and stay up. Yeah,
and that's what I was talking to.
But what I'm trying to get at is
to stay up 2 years in a row from being promoted in the Prem.
Yeah, but if you're in the Solent camp, are you not demoralised a bit if you go out and you lose every other game from here on out except for you beat Kent twice and you stay up with like a 3-7 record or something?
So again, this comes back to that losing record thing, right? But it depends what you.
Are you happy with the expectations?
How would you define success for the Thrashers this year? If you were their coach, if you were them, how would you have defined success? What record would you have put?
I would have wanted. I would have wanted to sweep Kent, sweep Cambridgeshire,
yeah,
and take at least one game off of the Aztecs or Blitz.
5-5.
5-5.
Okay. So, but that's not a winning record, right? And
it's not a losing record though.
No, but it's by some standards, people be like, well, that's not, why are you playing if you're not trying to win?
And it's well, I would have wanted at least one game off the Blitz and the Aztecs, and in the other 3 games, I would have wanted a competitive. To me, 37-0 isn't competitive. I don't care if the score was only 19-0 at halftime and you feel like you can come back and score points in the second half. You didn't. You didn't score points in the second half. They scored pretty much the exact same amount of points on you in the second half that they scored in the first half, and it sounds like they lost 2 starting players at the same time. So don't talk to me about how you improved your performance in the second half. Like you improved it by 1 point and they lost 2 players for it. It's looking at this, right? I'm like at least survived to build for next. Yes, okay, cool. Beat Kent twice, great. But I am disappointed with the way that the season goes. Like I think the loss to the Cats away would have been a big punch in the guts for them, right? Because I think they would have seen that, as you just said, that 5-5. I think that's a really reasonable. And that's it because, like Micah said, Thrashers took a game off the Blitz. Thrashers took a game off the Blitz last year. I want to build on that. Like, there's no coming into the season. Regression is not an option for me, right? Yeah. I want to beat the Cats twice. I want to beat Kent twice.
If they were 5-5 last season, you should say 6-5 this season.
Well, then so I should be looking. No, you're right. 6-4. So you should be looking. You've taken a game off the Blitz. You should be looking to split that series again and get one off the Aztecs now.
What's to say they're not? And there was nothing yesterday that tells me that the Thrashers are going to be scared of playing the Blitz again. Like
I never said they'd be scared of it.
And I know the score doesn't show this.
Yeah, it doesn't. That is 6 touchdowns.
We filmed the game. Go and watch the live stream, and there was some really good play. There was, the Thrashers just didn't capitalize when they did have good scoring opportunity. But you can't take anything away from the Blitz. The Blitz obviously defended really well.
You could take 37 points away from them, and you might call it a draw.
But after that break, the Blitz, there was, I think, one touchdown the Blitz scored, and I was like, it was sort of like a bit of a freak touchdown. It was a nice touchdown, 30-yard pass. Into the end zone, but prior to that, the Blitz had just sort of like, crept their way up into that position, and then they just then there was this like deep, not that deep, but 30-yard into the corner of the end zone. Lovely catch from the receiver, and you thought, that's sort of, I don't know, it's a good play, good to watch it, but also it sort of sticks the knife in a bit too much there for the Thrashers. They don't deserve that, but I'd rather have seen the Thrashers score than the Blitz score at that time, sort of thing.
Okay, so they lost 49-3 to the Warriors in week 2. They've got a 2-week gap, and then they play the Warriors in 2 weeks. What are you realistically thinking that scoreline versus the Warriors in 2 weeks is going to look like? Thrashers.
60-0, 50-0.
Yeah, so they lost 49. So you think they're going to regress from how they were week 2? Do you think they're a worse team than they were coming into the season now midway point through?
Do I think they're a worse team than I thought at the beginning of the season?
No. So the team. So at the start of the season, they beat the Cats 41-20. They lost 40. They lost 49-3.
What you're doing there is acting like they're going to they might put their best foot forward for the Warriors game. Why would you not?
Oh no, I don't think that at all. I think
some of your starters and put. I don't know what their schedule is, but let's say they're playing a winnable game the next week.
If our scheduling is right,
remember the Knights when they did the tactical forfeit against the Warriors, but this isn't forfeiting. It's just
No.
tactical.
We're missing 2 games.
We're
missing 2 games on the website because we haven't got the reverse fixtures versus the Blitz and the reverse fixtures.
So there are a number of games that are missing from League Republic that are slowly getting added. Like I looked at it today for the London Hornets. There's only 9
Can't
games.
we just get the fucking schedule from BAFA? Or can't we reach out to teams and just get the schedule from them? Why do we have to rely on another website to post it?
League Republic is BAFA's website.
Well,
that's what they use.
Well, they're shit.
Yeah, they're terrible at updating stuff. And then
but so they play the Warriors in 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks after that they play Kent. Now I don't know when the reverse fixture against the Blitz is, and I don't know when the reverse fixture against Kent is.
I would say if that Kent game's a winnable game, and I would say.
Are you saying take a tactical forfeit against the Warriors?
No, not a forfeit. Not a forfeit.
Are you rolling out your rookies against the Warriors?
We're not all rookies, but like your second stringers, and you might want to try some other stuff. You won't take risks. You'll punt the ball.
No,
more.
okay,
like,
but the things. Okay, you sit and say you might want to trade.
Warriors, right? Like I want to win the game. I want to stay in the league. I'm going to go and we're going to be ready for the Kent Exiles. Don't you worry about that.
It's the Warriors. You're sitting there saying you might want to try stuff against the Warriors. What the fuck are you trying against the Warriors? You're not learning anything from trying things against the Warriors because you're not going to execute. When you roll out your best team and your best game plan, they're still putting 50 on you. What are you learning? What are you learning from rolling out your backups? And
you're making them happy because they're paying money to play the sport and they're getting time on the field.
Okay, see that. I can understand that point. I can understand that point, but don't sit there and see. Don't tell me you can treat the Warriors like a fucking training fixture where you're going to learn anything of it.
No, but I think
they're going to kick the shit out of you no matter what you do.
Right, let's try this fucking end around that we haven't done yet. See how we get on.
No, because you're not going to learn because it's not the same as like it's trying it against the Warriors.
It's still timing. There's still calling a play in a live environment is different to a practice environment or a scrimmage environment. I still think there's some learning there to do. And from maybe from an OC perspective,
So that's what Mike said.
Let's try no huddle.
Mike said I've got a too limited knowledge of the gaps in the level of teams. Ravens been 11 years unbeaten. The Warriors will still be a tough opponent. Playing them will always be a benefit to the team. That's my point. I'm saying that there is a massive tier gap between the quality of the Warriors. Unless the Warriors are playing down to you, like you're not learning. You're not learning in terms of the plays. Like let's say you're trying to run a couple of new plays, right? When you're putting sub-tier athletes against better athletes, you're not exactly learning how good the play is when it gets blown up behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 5. Like that doesn't tell you whether the play works or not because
I'm not saying it would. I'm saying it helps with timing, with cadence, with positioning. You've got now a live film that you can then annotate and give feedback to those personnel that are on the field. And like I said, you can also try things like like no huddle, or we're going to take all of our plays. We're going to line up. We're going to take our plays from the OC. He's going to stood there with fucking luminous orange gloves, and he's going to
Kenny's mentioned to get better, you have to play against the best.
There's a lot of variables in terms of managing gameplay that you could try out in this game. Because you're sort of like, well, we know we're going to lose, and we may as well get some value out of it.
So Kenny's mentioned to get better, you have to play against the best. I believe in a perfect world. Yes, I agree with that. But
this one's really got people.
Hello, Cool P coming through. We're only unbeaten for 3 years. So like where he says that you're only like.
Don't you think Warriors? Probably.
Let me finish my point, you can't.
No.
To get better in a perfect world, yes. Like you play against the best and you take away a lot of learn from it. But that doesn't happen to like you need to have a solid mental to be able to be down by 50 and come out each and every snap with a fresh mentality of right, I need to win this rep. And I don't think there's a lot of guys in Britball. Like there would be more in top level. But if you're rolling out backups and things like that, if you're consistently getting dominated at the line of scrimmage or you're consistently just getting beaten by your man, and especially when there's egos involved in Britball. People don't like to get beaten on every single play. People don't like to get clowned on. And then if you're from the Warriors side of things, like they have confident guys. Like I've seen on the sideline the shit talk that comes when they are up. And if they are consistently, like, I've seen them yell to the sideline, like asking for coaches to take a lineman off the field because the D lineman feels like he's not getting blocked. Like the egos come into play. And if this man is beating you on the line every single play, you're trying to block him and you can't. And then he's walking back from making another tackle behind the line of scrimmage, talking about he's got a fucking turnstile at left tackle. Like somebody come and put someone else on here to block him. You're not thinking with a clear mind. You're not learning from that experience anymore. You're just getting the shit kicked out of you. So I think that to get better, you have to play the best. Yes. But I think that's only if you have a perfect mental. Like you will get better by playing against people of your own skill level first before going up against. If there's too big of a gulf in physical ability, so it's not even skill involved, it's just pure based athleticism. Like if you're getting beaten, not because the guy's got better technique than you, he's got better reflexes and he's quicker off the mark.
I'm not disputing
You're
that.
not learning.
I completely agree with you on that. I'm saying that there are other things that can be leveraged and other variables that can be changed to try and add value from that experience and you can try things out that you probably otherwise wouldn't in a game that you play the Exiles and it's a must win.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just more saying that like changing up your playbook, I don't know how much you're going to learn from changing up your playbook. Like in terms of actual plays, when you're playing against guys that are just, athletically better than you, you can't get in. If every player is failing, like if you're failing to score and every player is failing, how much are you taking away on how much that actually works if your regular players are failing as well?
Yeah, I agree. But I don't think that's what happens when you play the Warriors for the whole game that you play them. So I do think there is some value in, and there is opportunity to learn. And
Tony's made a good point. Do we think the Warriors will put in a lot of their backups?
Yeah, of course,
100%.
But
I still think
fucking winning against them.
The first string. The moment it's not even winning. The moment you start looking like if you get over the halfway line, those starters come.
If it's not a 3 and out, then the next series you're gonna have some fucking starters to face.
Yeah, 100. Again, seen it before. When you start stringing plays together and you start looking like you're scoring, they fucking hate it. Mate, they are. When they lose their donut, they fucking hate it. When that donut is in jeopardy. They hate it.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, right. We were too long on that fucking game. Sorry. Actually, we didn't even get to that game.
No, we haven't talked about the Exiles and the Aztecs. We haven't talked about the Exiles and the Aztecs. The Aztecs 47, Kent Exiles 0.
We learned nothing from this game. Move on.
Honestly, you're right. No, you're right. Bristol's first game, and we know Kent's bad. This tells us nowhere.
Bristol did what we thought they were going to do.
Yeah.
I think they had 2 defensive scores. From what I heard, the offense didn't get going straight away, but this is their first game of the season. I know, like
5 weeks in, they're playing their first game.
There's nothing to learn from this.
This literally tells me that Bristol does what we think they're going to do at the moment. You put them up above Solent and Cambridgeshire, and they're somewhere in with the Blitz and the Warriors, and we don't know how they stack up against the Blitz and the Warriors yet.
Yeah, the Aztecs have done exactly what they needed to do. Shutout victory. They did 40+ points. Nice. Exiles, it looks bleak, right? And I'm hearing a lot. This is something I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of negative comments about the Exiles, about them maybe not making it through the season, and that things are really bad. I don't know. Like it's all conjecture. Mate, it's all.
I still stand by my point. If you're a Prem outfit and you fucking if you forfeit a season, if you fold the season, if you cannot fulfill your fixtures, your club does not deserve to exist anymore.
I don't want them to fold. Obviously, I don't want any team to fold, but it's Yeah, I don't. I always think that the rumor mill's a lot more severe than the actual reality, right?
Yeah. If you have to forfeit an entire season, like, no, I've got no time for you because I don't care how bad it is. Fine, but stick it out, and you'll be back down where you fucking belong next year. You'll be back in Div 1 where you can comfortably play your level of football.
They might go and get a couple more, that important 3 wins, and stay up. But yeah, I do think that they're a team that likely to,
you've committed to a schedule. Play your fucking schedule, and at the prem level, it is a disgrace.
Well, I think that's exactly what they'll do. It's just you hear some. There's a lot of rumors going around that I hope they do well. Right.
NFC, we didn't have any Scottish games this week, did we?
No.
Nobody in Scotland played.
Yeah.
Oh, apart from the Prem level. Yeah.
But no.
Oh, so that was it. But the battle for Scotland, they had to give every other Scottish team a week off because they're like, you're going to want to come and see this. This is what you're aspiring to.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's what I want you to do.
Yeah. All right. All right. Everybody else gets the week off to go watch EKP play Edinburgh. I like that. I can fuck with that. I can fuck with that. So then the NFC 1 Central. Lancashire versus Darlington.
Like I said, I pair the Lancashire Wolverines with the Birmingham Bulls in that they're the teams that can ebb and flow nicely. They're obviously on a lovely a lovely high at the moment. Darlington are clearly on a low. They're not doing well at all. I think I don't think they've scored. Have they scored any points this season?
No, they've scored none and they've conceded 176 in 3 games.
They're not doing too well. Not much to say about that. I think I like that. I like that division. And it'll be good to see
the top of that division is great.
Yeah. So it'll be good to see where Lancashire fit in there. But
I think
we don't learn much from that. We just know we've got another competitor. There's another player in the game.
I don't think they are a competitor because their last game, I think they are the difference because they played the Vikings and they lost 42-0. I suppose it depends on it's they play Scunthorpe in week 8. So 3 weeks from now they play Scunthorpe. That's the big thing. Because at the moment you've got Northumberland and you've got Yorkshire at the top, and then you've got Scunthorpe sitting in 3rd at 1-1, and Lancashire is now 1-1. So it's the Scunthorpe Lancashire game is going to be it's going to tell us more about that division. But the rest of the division, Holton, they've folded the season, so they don't exist, and Darlington is just in pain.
Yeah, it would have been great if Holton would have been playing this season. Like the more I see particularly for this division, obviously because that's Holton's in it, but to see that, like, who do you think would have been on top out of Darlington and Holton?
Oh, that's probably why they folded it. They were like, that's probably why they folded the season. They're like, oh, we've got a chance of winning 2 games this year. All right, so we go to the NFC 1 South, and we had Nottingham Caesars 22, Sheffield Giants 14. So this was the reverse fixture of last week.
Yeah, and I'm just still loving the Caesars, and I actually saw some pictures from this game, and I forgot about NTU Renegades, another uni team that can feed the Caesars. It looks like. And I'm not that up on it, but it looked like their QB is an NTU Renegades QB. I'm sure if anyone's watching, will jump in and say. But Nottingham are looking the real deal.
Mate,
Sheffield aren't a bad team. Sheffield aren't a bad team.
No, that's what I mean.
It's obviously like, well, you could consider that a 1-score game because it's 8 points. Nottingham are the victors away, which is
yes. But do you think the home and away is a big factor? Because you look Nottingham at home 38-0 over Sheffield.
Yeah.
Nottingham away 22-14.
Yeah.
That game gets a lot closer. So how much do you put that down to? How much do you put that down to home and away, and how much do you put down to Sheffield actually, taking what lessons learned from the previous game?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And like you get pissed off players are like, oh, I can beat that guy. He shouldn't have beat me on this. Like they're watching the film and might be QB Liam McGovern, Russ is saying. I'm not sure, but it's just interesting to see. Nottingham all of a sudden they changed their facility. They're drawing in talent from the universities that are local to them, and I think they're going to start. It may not be. I don't think this is an overnight sensation thing, but in the next 2-3 years, they're going to be Prem level team that are going to be like a sustained Prem level team.
So we've just been told that
it's Liam.
It is Liam. So can we confirm that Liam's from the NTU Renegades? Is that
we're going to try and put all this stuff together? But I think not. I'm excited. I'm excited about Nottingham now as I was about Manchester about 2 or 3 years ago. Manchester were doing everything right, and they're starting it, and I think Manchester are best run club in the country. And I don't just mean like when I
They are
say
the
club, I mean
they are the model to follow,
They're just
100%.
amazing. But and I get the same sort of feeling with Nottingham now. I think they're the next big thing in Britball for me, to come up to that Prem level and sustain themselves. Oh, ex-Cheaters Junior, Liam was.
But which uni? Right. Okay. So we take our way across to the SFC, and we've got the Devils and the Spartans. Devils 61, Spartans 6.
This division is just all over the place.
I think yes and no. Yes, but no. There we go. He went 10 to you.
Yay!
Yes and no. This division is all over the place except for one thing.
What?
The Spartans.
Yeah, they're a consistently defeated team at the moment, and they're everyone. Yeah, I think it's the same sort of thing that we saw that we think we're going to see in the NFC 1 Central. You've got one team that's sort of whipping boys, and then everyone else is fairly evenly matched.
You've got five teams that are great competitive. Like you look at it and you're like, this is great. Like anyone can beat anyone on any given day except for Essex. Everyone can beat Essex, and that's unfortunate because we've got some guys who play for Essex, who watch the show, who contribute to the comments and things like that. So it's just it's a rough season for them. So at the moment they're staring down the barrel of Div 2 next year, and hopefully they can put it back together. And
it's a shame. But then on the flip side of that, a positive side, a big statement win for the Norwich Devils there.
Oh, huge. Like they were staring down the barrel of an 0. Well, I don't know if they were staring down the barrel of 0-3, but they were 0-2.
They needed a nice big win. Yeah, and they got it.
Yeah, 100%. So we've just been told Spartans are very close, and that's something that I've heard in the 3 sort of years of covering Britball with you. I've always heard that the Spartans are a very classy outfit, win or lose.
So they never used to be, right?
Really?
Yeah, they used to be a team that were just full of doormen that were trying to punch and kick and even threaten people. Like they were a pain in the ass. But yeah, and I'm going back a long time.
Yeah.
But certainly in the last 10 years.
Last 3 years. 3 years that
I'd say even longer than
consisting.
That. People just they're like they're just
COVID until now for me.
They're a good group of people.
I didn't really get into this sort of thing with you until the COVID season. I don't think we did 2019. We may have. I can't remember. But it was I can't remember if we did Game Day Live in 2019 or not.
I don't know.
But in the years that I've been doing sort of Game Day Live and the rundown with you, consistent comments about how Essex, like win or lose, like the Spartans are a great outfit in terms of like the sportsmanship and like Chris says, very classy teams. So that's why I hope they do bounce back next year, post relegation. Well, with what looks to be post relegation.
Yeah, we'll order some Essex Spartans merch.
Yeah, right.
We'll get you a hoodie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do like a good comfy hoodie.
I need to get you Sport Tank stuff. I need to order.
Oh, mate, I've given up. I've fucking given up. I don't think I'm ever getting it.
Well, it's good not asking me. I've been ordering all like the equipment because we're setting up a second team of.
I don't care. I just know
live streamers. I don't care if you don't care. I'm trying to plug this, and I've been ordering all the gear for that. I don't know if there's nothing new. Oh yeah, here's a new camera. That's one piece. Once I've done that, and I had to buy a new car, and that was a pain in the ass. So now that I've got those purchases sort of out of the way, I'll then get.
You should pay £12 for postage.
Hey.
Now that you've got those purchases out of the way, you can pay £12 for postage to send me some Sport Tank stuff.
I don't have any more. I need to get stuff reprinted. I haven't got any more. I've only got 3 small t-shirts left.
I'm glad that the fucking. I'm glad that the 6 years worth of content contribution I've given to you has earned me, being on the first mailing list.
You've got the 10,000 follower champagne.
I have, and I've still got it.
That's very exclusive.
It is. You're right. It is. And but every time you've done first batch of anything to do with merch, I've always been left off the list. You were sending hats to cunts in the comments. I didn't get shit. all I've got is I've got a 10,000 follower champagne bottle, and I've got a fucking Gridiron Hub hat with like a weird clip thing at the back, and it doesn't even fucking fit me. It's for someone with a peanut head.
It sounds you're a lucky person. Not
Mate, you can call me.
You're in an exclusive club with both of those items.
Cunts you just don't give a shit about. It's a very populous club, but it's very exclusive. So Scott said 17 years at the club, a lot of effort from many people over the 8+ years to change the club's look and attitude.
Yeah, cool.
Credit to Norwich with the win, tough place to travel to. Yes, because it's just out of the way. Fair few lads playing the first, second game for the club. A lot of takeaways recover from a tough off season. So I think Scott was saying last week, it was either last week or the week before, that they have had a lot of exodus from the club in the off season. They've had a lot of guys go elsewhere. So bit of a rebuilding year for the Spartans.
Yeah.
Right. So Hertfordshire Cheetahs, South Wales Warriors, 29-0.
Yeah.
I got a message from someone who'll remain unnamed after our show last week. Like someone added me as a friend, sent me a message, and
Go on. Sorry.
And talked me through what happened in the South Wales Bournemouth game.
Right.
Because I came away from last week's show with all these questions about what the fuck happened to Bournemouth, that they lost to South Wales in such an uninspiring fashion. And one of the guys associated with Bournemouth added me on Facebook, sent me a message, and sort of talked me through the whole thing. And they went into that game expecting to win, and then they just shit the bed. And now I feel like the ship has been righted. Russ has sorted me out. 29-0. Hertfordshire Cheetahs 29, South Wales 0. So all is good in the world. Thank you, Russ.
Order has been restored.
Yeah, thanks, Russ.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to cross the Severn Bridge without getting fucking the shit kicked out of me now.
I don't like doing these shows or putting myself forward for stuff, right? Like commentary and on-screen stuff. But I'll do it because obviously if no one else is going to do
your website, you have to sort of, right? Yeah.
But I'd rather be working on like business plan stuff and everything. And part of the reason I don't like doing this is because people take stuff so personally, right? And I get it because they're the ones playing or they're the ones coaching and they've been with their club X amount of years.
Why do you think I use a fucking pseudonym?
But so this individual last night tagged Sport Tank, wrote my name, quoted me from something I said when I was commentating, which I don't really like. I was doing it because Tebs wasn't available.
Fuck's sake.
And then added a picture that sort of brought into question what I said. And then I was like, no, I'm not having someone calling me out. So I responded. And then I went back and watched the clip. And the reason I'd sort of said what I said about basically he made a tackle, but he didn't really go for it. He just sort of like got bowled over. The player ran another sort of like stumbled and landed about 5 yards down. Right. And the guy got up and flexed. And I was like, so on the live stream, I was like, I first of all said, oh, solo tackle there. And then the dude jumped up and flexed. And I was like, I don't know why he's flexing. He just, he basically tripped the guy,
in the way.
Right?
He got in the way.
Yeah. And that's what his problem was. So I just went, I've just seen actually. Like I then went back again. I clipped the thing and sent the link and posted the link and said, look, this is what you're talking about. You flexed on someone that just bowled you over and got a first down. Like,
well done. You did as good of a job on defense as an inanimate object, like a large log. So you are as adequate. Right? You were as adequate as a large log at stopping people.
But like a tackle's a tackle. But I was always taught in American football, and you'll know this by my style of play. The point of contact where you hit them is as far as they go.
Oh yeah,
they fucking go backwards, right? You don't. And this guy got bowled backwards. It was like, it was like, when a ball gets overthrown and the DB's like,
oh my God. I hate
the equivalent of that.
My pet peeve, right, is where a fucking wide receiver is streaking free.
Yeah,
the DB's about 5-6 steps behind. And the QB just fucking misses it.
Yeah.
Just misses it completely. Like either an overthrow or an underthrow or out of bounds or whatever. And then you see the DB just prancing around like this.
Yeah.
Like no fly zone. No fly zone.
High-fiving everyone.
Not no fly zone.
Running down the sideline.
Oh, you're fucking trash. You got burnt. Yeah, hate it.
But that's what it felt like.
Hate it.
But also, you know, at the time they were 19-0 down. Yeah, so I was like, but that to me is it like I don't like dealing with the negative stuff, but I will because I don't like people like calling me out. I'm not having it, right? But also
I'm not even allowed to say your name out loud in the street because you just don't like it. Don't call me out.
Sooner have not done the commentary and not had any sort of crap from anyone. You know, like that's why I don't like doing it all because it's like when we're doing even predictions, I don't like doing predictions because
but you've also never made
clip it, remind us of it. Oh, you got it wrong, Steve. I'm like, well, yeah, well, I got your one wrong. I got 15 others right. You're going to give me credit for that? You know,
you have never once made a point of hiding your identity, though. Not even hiding your identity, but doing anything to like obscure your identity. You've never once from the moment
I'm not afraid of saying stuff. I would rather do other work now that
I'm not afraid of saying stuff. I'd just rather I didn't have repercussions to saying things.
No. I'd rather do other stuff because
I know.
I see it as like, and this is the reason I don't do coaching. It's the same shit every single year. You know, I just get this teams winning, teams losing, blah, predict this, predict that. People say stuff, people like it, people don't.
I just get this image of you at your house and you hear a knock at the door. I get this image of you're at your house, you hear a knock on the door, and you open it up and you just go, fuck. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. And you just fed up that something that you've done has led to ramifications that you now have to deal with.
I can't be arsed with it. People I tend to see.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
I just like it. It's the negative stuff that I think like you've looked at it, essentially you've looked at it subjectively with your own opinions, feelings, ego, rather than objectively like I have to look at it or I try to look at it as someone that's been involved in the sport a number of years and can see that the tackle you made, while it did stop the play, it was bad, and then you decided to jump up and flex. Like if you can't see that was the wrong thing to do, and you think, and your ego's so bruised by it that you have to then post a picture and tag me in it to question it and quote me, I just think fuck off. Like I just don't need it, you know. So yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to build out Sport Tank as a platform, and there's a lot of developmental stuff I'm working on at the moment that will sort of change what we do. We're not going to be just a pure media outlet. We're going to
stop insulting people.
Stuff. Well, that's it. My problem is that I'm very impulsive, and if someone upsets me, I don't mind saying, like someone on the live stream yesterday said, Oliver Bish, he's a number 15, was middle linebacker for the Blitz for a long time. Very, very good player. We were calling this guy's number out instead of saying his name, but this running back was doing great. And Bish was watching and he said, oh, this is the guy's name. He's an OG in Britball. Put some respect on his name. I was like, well, I wasn't disrespecting him, you fucking idiot. Like,
I don't fucking know his name.
You know, like I was just like, what? Like, you fucking dense, you people, you know? Like, so like, yeah, I don't like that there are, you know, people out there just trying to have a pop when all we're doing is trying to do something positive.
Yeah, but we do it in a negative way. I shit talk entire teams and towns and everything. So.
I'll jump on stuff, but when we're live streaming, we don't like when we live stream like this in a show. It's a bit more opinion based. There's it's
100% opinion based. I have no facts to back up anything that I say, guys.
Neutral as possible when you're doing live streaming games, right? You try and sort of call the game from a neutral perspective.
Just a quick sort of like content advisory. If you think that I put any effort and any research into caring anything about your teams whatsoever, I do not. Yeah. I don't. I don't know what your trainings are like. I don't know what your numbers are like. I sit here and I sit in front of a screen where I pull the score up and I go, well, you lost by a lot. You are shit. I don't know anything more than that. So if you think this is any sort of research based or any sort of like actual academic process, it's not.
That's what the Greens are here for.
It is all my opinion. No facts. Yeah, nothing.
Like I'm happy to share my opinions and my views and my thoughts. I'm very opinionated, but I don't feel like I need to. Like I'm more than happy for someone to take over and host these shows and do the commentary and stuff. But I step in where I need to, right? But yeah. But then when and part of the reason why it's probably better for me not to do that is because if someone does try and come for me or one of my team members, I'll jump on it. I won't allow it. You know, I always protect my guys. But anyway,
so just to look at the comments. So Russ mentioned that the Cheetahs versus South Wales is very similar to the Oxford game. So those of you who don't remember, Cheetahs beat Oxford 35-3.
Yeah.
Cheetahs played most of the game in South Wales half with solid D and special teams. And then Craig, who's also affiliated with the Cheetahs, I think, has mentioned that the South Wales offense was intriguing. Which is a polite way. It's a polite way of saying they did a lot of random shit and none of it worked.
Swinging gate and just fucking flea flickers and stuff.
Yeah, it tells me that you didn't have an offensive game plan. You just sort of went out there, tried to wing it, and you were fucking bad at it.
Right, moving on. NFC 2E.
This game.
Almost got my drink over.
This game got my eyebrows right up.
I'm annoyed because I almost went. I never almost went for the draw, but I almost went for the Raiders.
Based on what?
Because I said to you at the beginning of the fucking season, they're my surprise package team. I think they're gonna overachieve this year. And
when you say overachieving, they're in a fucking division with the DC Presidents, the fucking Humber Warhawks, and the Doncaster Mustangs.
Okay. Beginning of the season, you and probably even before this game, you would have said this was a 40-50-0 game to the.
I would, and based on the way,
so they've done well. They've exceeded expectations.
100%. But there was no evidence for you to base that off of.
I said their social media, their rebrand, they're making a lot of right moves offline that I felt was a glimmer of evidence or a spark of evidence that they could now start to turn into a better team on field in the same way that the Chester Romans did about 2 years ago. That's exactly what I said.
Wow, see, this is the problem. You actually researched this stuff. I just
watched. I just pick up on signals.
All I saw was that these guys struggled
out into the ether, and I'm like, oh yeah.
I had a look at a team that had struggled to beat. I looked at a team that had struggled to beat down the DC Presidents. Who haven't won a game in what is it?
Like? Did you see? Oh, we got to bring up.
I've got it in front of me.
Can you read it all out?
Yeah,
we should have started with this.
So LL Cool P decided to hit us with some of the.
He woke up and chose violence. And I love it.
100% chose violence.
I fucking love it.
And I'm gonna channel it now. So we've got some of the. This is what I'm gonna call Sportank's Wall of Shame. So he's called it the bliss. I'm claiming it.
Into this.
Fuck him. No, it's Sportank's Wall of Shame. Because these are teams
that we. Are we?
Okay, no, I'll call it Oz's Wall of Shame. Yeah, so he called it the blurst of times. Yeah,
even the name of it's brilliant. He just fucking nailed it.
Mate, I'll adopt it as Oz's Hall of Shame for the sheer fact that I talk shit about all of these teams for being fucking terrible, and then he comes out and provides evidence to the fact that they are fucking terrible.
So he's like your own little researcher.
Oh,
I'm going to just prove why Oz is right.
Yeah. Everybody else is out to prove why I'm wrong. LL Cool P's like, I got you, fam. I got you. Say no more. So the DC Presidents haven't won a fucking game since August 2013.
Yeah. So again,
10 years ago.
Yeah. I think I would like to see the number of games that they actually were supposed to play.
It doesn't matter. There could have been seasons where they didn't even exist.
Have not been existing and then existing and. So, that's not 10 years of losses. That's 10 years without a win.
Sorry, no, okay, fine. It's 10 years of being 80 losers.
Losses or whatever.
No, but it's 10 years of being losers.
Sorry?
It's 10 years of being losers.
You're not a loser if you're not competing.
You're not a loser if you're a loser if you're not winning.
Oh, right. So all the teams that don't exist at the moment, they're all losers.
Well, yeah, because they're not winning. What's the opposite of winning?
But they're not the opposite. It's
what's the opposite? Well, it's no, because they're not doing it. So what's the opposite of winning?
This is the problem with.
Are you dead?
LL Cool P giving you a little bit of confidence is that you go to the next level.
Are you dead? Because if you're not dead, what are you?
Alive. Okay, so
what's the opposite of being dead?
What were you before you were born? Then were you dead?
Dead. Yeah.
You weren't.
I was. Because I wasn't alive.
I reckon my 4-year-old would say the same, and I'd just punch him in the face.
Oh, I was going to say which one?
Which 4-year-old?
Yeah,
only got one.
Well, because how old's the oldest? Is he 4?
4, yeah.
Oh right, okay. I thought the middle. For some reason, I thought the oldest was like 6 and the middle one was 4. So I was going to say one of them was
the oldest. Technically, the oldest is 6.
No, technically the oldest isn't. Technically, the oldest is dead. They're not alive.
Sorry, yeah. So yeah, I've got 4.
Dude, I am sweating right now. Can we stop this line of chat, please? Can we go back
to
get
cancelled? And I can't be. I can't be cancelled.
Mate, can we go back to talking about how bad people's teams are as opposed to your not here children?
4-3-1.
So yeah, DC Prisons, fine. It doesn't matter whether they've existed or not. They haven't won a game since 2013. The Dunfermline Kings. DC did die and then came back. So by Oz's logic, they can't. So you buy Oz logic, what?
So you buy.
Is this one of those Jesus scenarios? Did DC get put behind a rock and turned up 3 days later?
No, they just didn't exist for a bit. So that's what I'm saying. I'd like to see the number of actual games lost. That's what I'm saying. Is that it's a great little tagline, but it doesn't tell the full story. You would assume, oh, there's 80 to 100 lost games here. But
do you know what the best thing about it is, right? I didn't find these stats. I'm just reading them, so you can take it up with the fucking man who created it.
It's your interpretation of the stat, and that's
it's
what
not. I'm reading. DC Prisons last win 2013. That tells me they have not had a win since 2013.
And now I'm trying to then explain that that's a skewed stat. So Oz, the average household is 2.4 children. How many 0.4 people do you know that exist? Right, like the stats can tell a skewed view. It's impossible to have a 0.4 person, right, and raise them, and they just can't exist.
Tell it to Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Dahmer had at least 0.4 of a person at one point in time.
They weren't alive. So like stats.
Are we going to get into the alive versus dead debate again?
No, because that's what I'm saying. Because
okay, let's work it out. DC are 0-15 since they came back into the league, so they're on a 15-game losing streak. So
right, anyway, go on. Move on to the next one.
Dunfermline have been shut out in 11 of their last 12 games. So
yeah,
with the
and Dunfermline did a meme saying they've actually lost 15 of them.
Yeah. So LL Cool P had them. No, LL Cool P had them at a 14-game losing streak, and Dunfermline came out and said actually it's 15.
LL Cool P blamed me, saying, "Oh, Sport Tank's website's wrong." How do we fix it?
Don't use us to research your stats. Samwell Steelers have conceded 50 points in 7 of their last 10 games. Dahmer's victims were definitely losers. They weren't winners. Yeah. Mate, if you get
you're alive or you're dead, right? And what are they?
Mate, you're turning up to someone's house for sex and you get chopped up instead. You are definitely in the loser column.
Oh, you'd be gutted, wouldn't you?
Mate, you're at the club. You're at the club. You got picked up and you're like, I'm getting some tonight. The only sum you're getting is the knife.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Why does this always happen?
DC is nothing like Jesus. DC are real. Depends which book you talk to. I reckon I can find a book that would tell me that DC presidents don't exist. I've found plenty of books that tell me Jesus do. So, right. The Sussex Thunder have been held to single-digit scores in 12 of their last 15.
Yeah. I was right, wasn't I? Yeah, you'd be gutted if you were gutted.
100%. Anyway. Yeah, if you're a Dahmer victim, you were 100% gutted.
Yeah. Right, let's move on. What's the other?
Sussex were held to single-digit score in 12 of their last 15 games, and the Torbay Trojans.
Yeah, that one surprised me.
Had scored one touchdown in their last 10 games.
So the Torbay one, yeah, a little bit of surprise, but the Sussex one, I didn't expect that. I didn't realise they haven't been that competitive in their games.
Well, because they were fucking shithouse all of last year, and they've struggled to begin this year, and then the year before they struggled at the end. So it's like if you take the end of a season,
I suppose,
a whole bad season, and then the beginning of another season, it you know.
Well, and it's actually all that time that I remember saying back then, oh, they're probably going to fold, you know, and not that I wanted them to, because I think,
and then Brighton
is an awesome catchment area, lots of good unis, lots of good athletes down there. So I'm glad they're still going. But yeah.
So the point that the reason that we led to this LLQP wall of shame, Schrodinger's cat. Are you alive? You dead? Or you dead until you open the box? But
Schrodinger's Britball Club.
Schrodinger's Britball Club. You exist until you don't exist.
DC is Schrodinger's Britball Club.
Okay, so we're just going to call them the Schrodinger's presidents from now on,
DC
or the DC Schrodingers.
D-Singers?
What is it? What is the DC for? What does that stand for?
Durham County.
Oh, is DC Durham County?
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're playing on President. I think they play on Presidents because of District of Columbia, Washington.
Yeah, of course.
I think.
Oh,
I think someone's probably going to jump. I go, no, there was a bridge, and it was.
President. Mate, that hurts because they are my local team then. Because I live in County Durham.
Yeah, that's your club.
Oh, fucking hope not.
My local club, I believe, are the Berkshire Renegades.
I was going to say the Renegades, wasn't it?
To my house.
Yeah. I'm going to have to find out where these clubs are, because I think the Senators aren't too. The Senators are just up the road as well.
If you go on BAFTA's website, they've got a map of all the clubs, and you can see.
All right, I'll do a quick look. I'll do a link. Worst case, mate, I've been a loser for years. I haven't won a Brit Ball game. I haven't won a Brit Ball game. And
you can turn around and say you played in Hawaii and you played for your country. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's not a loser to me. That's all right.
Yeah, but I haven't won a Brit Ball game since 2018. So I've been losing for 5 years.
Oh, shit.
Because that's the opposite. Because if I'm not winning, I'm losing. So I haven't won a Brit Ball game since 2018. All of them rocking up to the DC. Matt, I'd be the best player there. I haven't played in 5 years. Be the best player there. Used to be the Washington Presidents. Yeah, mate. Washington is just up the fucking Washington's like 5-10 minutes from my house. So
is it? I didn't know there was a Washington in the UK.
Yeah, it's in County Durham. Funnily enough, hence why they're DC.
That's why I used to live just outside of Washington DC.
Yes. So moving
they
on.
got spanked 56-0.
But so what? The reason that we weren't even talking about them. We were talking about the Senators and the Wakefield, the 26 all. So I didn't understand how you could think, because you picked Gateshead to win this. We both did.
Yeah. And like I said, I was disappointed because I was like, I should have picked the Raiders.
Because I didn't know how you could pick the Raiders, though, based on the fact that they had underperformed. But they had underperformed against a DC team that hasn't won a game since 2013. They'd underperformed against a DC team.
I'm good at reading, as you know.
It's on a 15 streak.
As someone that's played linebacker with me, I'm very good at reading things and situations.
Only when you got your glasses on.
And I just got a feeling.
I got a feeling. Right, moving on. DC. Speaking of the woeful DC presidents, they lost 56-0 to the Humber Warhawks.
Yeah,
Humber is a good team in this division. DC is not.
Yeah.
Like, what else can you take away from it?
This. I said I know we didn't really come up with a name for it, but when we said, like, as I look back, what game would I have loved to have watched? Yeah, this one is my answer to you for that,
mate.
I would love to have been watching this one.
We picked the Revs, and Lincolnshire came. Yeah,
I thought you went Bombers. Fuck.
No, and that was the thing. I did this whole sort of like an Oz monologue of like, will I, won't I, about how I really used to love Lincolnshire because they had great social media and all this and all that.
Yeah, they're quality.
But then Shropshire had come back, and I was like, you know what? Like, which is stupid, because up until this, like, apparently at this point, Shropshire's on a 10-game losing streak. But for some reason, we thought they were going to win.
We knew.
Who knew?
Me.
No, you didn't.
I mean, they scraped to win, and that's what I mean. This was a nice competitive game, 4 points in it, I don't know. I don't really feel smug to have guessed it. I feel like I wish I'd have been there and watched the game. Sound like a belter from what I've read online.
So, so Ryan just asked, what do we think this means for the rest of the division? Is it the Surges, or if not the Surges, the Miners division to win?
I think Surges. Well, why not Shropshire?
Because they struggled against Lincolnshire. That is what I'm thinking, because Lincolnshire lost to the Miners, right, by 10. So Lincolnshire lost to the Miners by 10. They didn't play for 3 weeks. Then they came out and they played Shropshire and lost by 4. So I'm guessing what Ryan's saying is the Miners beat Lincolnshire more.
But we know it's not. We know that
Shropshire did.
He's not taking into account Britball logic.
No, Britball doesn't. Britball doesn't give a fuck about A, B, B,
there's no such
B,
thing as a
C.
trend, right?
Yeah, no.
It's a scatter diagram of data.
Yeah, there we go. So Bombers beat Shropshire. Miners beat Bombers. Surge beat Miners. There is the Brit Ball triangle.
Yeah,
there's the Brit Ball triangle that we've been waiting for.
Sometimes you get four teams and even 5 teams if you're lucky.
Mate.
6 is a big, like if you get a whole division of 6 where you can track it round. That's you've won Brit Ball bingo.
Yeah.
It's how it works, man.
At this moment in time, I have no idea what it means for the rest of the division because Staffordshire's played 1 game, Shropshire's played 1 game, and
2. 1. You're right.
Yeah, so Shropshire's played 1, Staffordshire's played 1. The Miners have played 3, and obviously 1-2.
Well, didn't we say because we said week 3 is when we should know, but it's not. It's when every team has played at least 3 games.
3 games.
We'll have a better idea. So we're still not there yet. So it's tough to call at the moment.
Yeah, Brit Ball is all about on the day, for sure. 100%.
Who turned up? Who went out last night? Was there a stag do? Like, there's so many variables that come into play especially when you're down in Div 2.
Did you get that? Did you get that American that you were talking
to? Who bought their boots? Who bought their boots?
Oh,
what boots did they bring? What ground did they play?
Who did Hastings and turned up to an away game with no kit? Who did that? Fuck my life. Absolutely. Right. So moving through to SFC Central, mate, I've got to say,
Portsmouth are looking so strong, aren't they?
Mate, I am feeling the Dreadnoughts this year.
Yeah, it's good. They may end up with Steve Price playing from next year. We'll see.
Like before this game, I was like, Portsmouth's doing well, but it's because Cornwall's not great and Torbay is Torbay. It'll be interesting when they play Somerset. Mate, it's going to be fucking interesting when they play Somerset. I can't wait.
Quality. I can't wait.
Yeah. Mate, they're because I still follow the Portsmouth. I still follow Portsmouth on Facebook, so I still get their updates and stuff. And they have been churned. Obviously, they've got the new. I love their new unis, by the way. They are so sharp.
Did you hear about the misprint that they had? I only found out about this yesterday. So they got their new uniform, and Portsmouth was spelled as the poor part POR was POUR, so it was Portsmouth. Send it all back and get it redone.
Wow. Mate, that kind of fits in though, because they're always on the booze. Every single one.
When I was chatting to there was a few Thrashers players we were talking to, and that someone mentioned it, and I told them a story. Do you remember Nick Root?
I know Root. Yeah.
When we got our
he was poop.
He was poop. Yeah. It was stitched in. It was brilliant. Anyway.
Yeah, he was Nick Poop.
Nick Poop.
Yes, anyway, Aldo is back and playing. I saw that there was a post about him that he'd returned for the season. I've been following their social media. The new unis are fire. I love them. I used to fucking hate the banana yellow pants.
Did you?
They were the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
But the grey, the new unis look amazing.
Yeah,
they've had some massive social media outpour of new players coming through and announcements for each players. They've had some returning vets. Some of the vets are more character guys than at this point in their careers, because we're talking some of them are pushing 40 now. But they're more character glue guys that you need for the club. Yeah. But I am feeling Portsmouth this year, and I can't wait to see them play Somerset, and I reckon it'll be a fucking barn burner of a game.
Yeah, can't wait for that one.
Loving it, absolutely loving it.
They're just looking strong. This doesn't tell us much about Ouse Valley. I think it was their first game, wasn't it?
No, that's the thing. No, it's not. That's the second game. They're just bottom of their. That's the thing. The rest of their div has played at least 3 games. They are 0-2 at the moment.
Portsmouth for promotion.
That's brave purely because there's a lot of teams in Div 2, and that's a big playoff that there's Somerset, it's East Kent's looking good, Hereford's looking good. They've got a good chance. It'll depend on how they stack up against Somerset. That will be the big with how Somerset's played at the moment. Somerset's played 3 games. They're averaging nearly 40 points a game. So that game versus Somerset will definitely sort of give everybody a fair idea of, are we looking at Portsmouth? I'd love to see them back in Div 1. It was a sad thing for me to see them relegated down to Div 2 after they pushed. Their push from Div 2 up to Div 1. I'm biased because I was part of it. But it was such that the going up against Hertfordshire in the final and everything like that. So I loved it. Like, I would love to see them back in Div 1, but
losing.
Yeah. Mate, don't talk to me about that final. That's the thing. That was the last game. I haven't played a game since. That was the last game. That was the last. So I've been losing. I've been losing the last 5 years because I haven't played a game since.
The last game you and I played in was a championship winning game. You were there for a good couple.
I played 3 snaps.
Oh, killed me that did. You went out, Hatch went out, and I was like, yeah. I've got to win this myself, have I? Okay.
And my flatmate ended up playing fucking like I'll tell you who balls out in fucking championship games. My old flatmate,
Lloydie, yeah, he was quality in that game,
mate. That game.
He was on the opposite side.
He was playing middle linebacker and he scored their only 2 offensive touchdowns because remember they had 0 pass completion.
Yes, because Amos scored one of his touchdowns. I stopped him.
Lloyd was at fullback,
and I maintain to this day that I stopped him. I was like, I don't understand why the refs called.
I don't go backwards.
The ball didn't cross the line. It simply didn't cross the line. Me and him met at the line of scrimmage down, and the ball didn't cross the line. I don't get it. It pissed me off. But at the time, yeah, Lloyd Scott's class. But at the time, we were winning so much, and like the BAFA referees like to massage the games and even them up, and I think that's what happened there. They just gave him it because it was like, oh, we got a game on our hands. If this is
someone needs to tell the refs that keep reffing the Merseyside games in because they are not massaging those games and making them evened up. So Craig just said, love to see the Dreads back in Div 1. Good club.
He was that final, but he was up against a middle linebacker that can read and can understand the game and he knows what's going on.
And let him score. He was also a middle linebacker and you let him score 2 offensive touchdowns.
Yeah, well, I had my two main generals decided they didn't want to play, scared of him.
I did. I was terrified of him.
And sat in so I was having to work with our backups.
Mate, I tried to play. Coach wouldn't. I was sitting there with this big fucking ice pack all on my leg.
Yeah, I know.
I had a brace
on. I
put my helmet on and I was like, because that was when Hatch did his ear. I couldn't walk. Like I literally couldn't walk, and I was like fucking dragging my leg behind me, and I was like, look, we only need someone in there for 3 plays. I'll just go stand in the middle. Yeah. And he just looked at me, he's like, you're not fucking going on that field.
Man. It was good. That was probably one of the mentally it went from a very enjoyable game for me because like Hatch got a pick, we were just stuffing them, and then like he went down as well as you, and I was like, oh fuck! I got to concentrate now. I've got to play. Yeah, and it was tough. Mike said he was a game day manager for it.
No, I think they're talking.
They're talking about theirs.
Yeah, I think they're talking about the Hertfordshire game.
You got a ring.
Let's move on. It's somewhere around here. It's hiding in a drawer or something. I've still got it.
Anyway, right.
Moving on.
Mate, we're so late.
Berkshire Renegades 33-0 over the Swindon Storm.
We both went Swindon, didn't we?
We did. We both picked Swindon, and this just proves we have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I feel like I should have gone the Renegades because they're my local team. I thought Swindon had shown a bit more promise in their previous results. That's why I sort of went for them.
Mate, the thing is, Swindon. That was the first game. Swindon were 0-3 leading up to that. Swindon hadn't won a game. That's Berkshire had won 1, and they were 1 of 1. Or no, they were 2-0. Berkshire was 2-0 leading into that game.
Were they?
No. No, sorry. I don't know why we thought Swindon were going to win. They were 0-3, and Berkshire were 1-1. And right. I don't know. I think I'm reading everything wrong. All we know is Berkshire beat them 33-0. And we said Swindon were going to win it. I can't read stats.
We didn't call it well. Next one.
Ipswich Cardinals, East Essex Sabres. This was the dividing one, I think, between me and you, because you picked the Cardinals because I hate them, and I picked the Sabres. And Ipswich 26.
I must be 5 or 6 points up over you in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, think about that. I think you're about 5 or 6 ahead, which proves that you actually research this stuff, and I go purely based on who I like and who I don't.
No Britball. Like I said,
that's good. Read website about it.
Feelers out, and I just know what's going on. I can feel the vibes of the sport, and I just work off of them.
The vibes, feeling the vibes.
Right, we need to get through these.
Yeah, and we both picked the Stampede to win 44-12. Yeah. No real surprises there.
Right, let's move on to this coming week. Let's just quickly go through them because We've been on for an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's all right.
No one cares. No one cares. I don't even know why they're here still. Right.
What? Who cares about what?
Start with the Prem North, Merseyside, and the Leicester Panthers. The game. It is the game that we were just talking about. I'm going. Oh, I don't know. I'm going.
You're gonna have a stroke, is what you're going.
Go to bed. Okay.
Yeah, I'm done. Fuck next week's predictions.
I can't do it. Who wins that game?
Okay, if you're not gonna pick it, I'm picking it. I'm picking Leicester. Like Wesley said, Leicester comfortable win. I'm picking Leicester.
Okay, you pick Leicester. I'll go Merseyside.
I've been like, I don't know whether it's warranted or not, but I've been hating on Merseyside for 2 years.
You have,
now.
yeah, fair enough. That's on brand for you then.
Yeah,
so I'll go Merseyside.
I can't suddenly be like, oh yeah, Mercy Rule's going to do well.
Okay, I'll go Merseyside. Home team in Ormskirk. Even though it's not in Merseyside, that's fine.
Tamworth, that was at the Ormskirk night.
Yeah, Ormskirk Nighthawks. I've been there, played there.
Tamworth EKP.
EKP. Even though they're the away team.
I'm taking Tamworth. EKP. I'm taking Tamworth.
Oh, yeah. Those are both good games.
Here we go. Oh,
no, actually, I've already said it. I'll go EKP.
Yeah, I think you thought the EKP was Edinburgh, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I just didn't think through. I didn't think Tamworth through very well. I think Tamworth. I think Tamworth are the better team, but I'm going to stick with my EKP.
Let me close the gap.
Come to Pack Meadow this Saturday and watch a double header with Tamworth Phoenix and you're not. That's just the advert, right? I'm not.
It's an advert, but it's not an advert. If that makes sense, he's just promoting people to come and watch the Tamworth EKP game.
Cool. I don't have to respond to that.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Go watch. Go watch Tamworth play, guys. If you want to go see it, don't.
Fucking too right.
Go do it. Get amongst it. I'm not gonna have a go at him for promoting his team. Crack on. Scotland.
Prem South.
Oh, okay. Prem South. Okay, sorry. Yes.
Lit Aztecs. I'm going Aztecs every.
I was going to say you have to. You have to go Aztecs.
No, I want to.
Oh,
I love the Aztecs.
Yeah, true. It is. We are talking about a Shakespeare situation here. This is unrequited love. This is 100% unrequited love. You love the Aztecs. They don't even know who you are.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, one day. I think if I keep saying it, one day they'll notice me. Yeah. Anyway,
I'll take the Blitz. I will. Okay, cool. I think the Aztecs win it, but we'll keep.
No, don't do this. Don't do this. Just pick a side and stick with it. Don't give us this. Oh,
I'm sorry. What were you saying about EKP and Tamworth?
I just said I like Tamworth. I didn't say I think they're going to win.
You said Tamworth's a better team, and you were like, "Oh, but I have to stick with EKP because I've already said it." So fuck off.
Yeah, but I never said. I said I like Tamworth. I like their club. I never said
I don't care what you like. I didn't ask you what you like. I asked you who was going to win.
Yeah, and I've said the East Kilbride Pirates and not changed that. And in this game, I've said the Aztecs. And in the next game, we should probably just skip it.
Yeah, it's that's a little bit insulting.
Versus the Warriors, it's just
it is the Warriors. It is the Warriors.
Me, I'll be back in the Warriors for all of their games this year, apart from when they play the Aztecs.
Yeah, it's until you missed a lot, mate. Like an hour and 45 minutes worth.
Yeah, we've gone around the houses. We've wasted a lot of time.
It's so fucking on brand for Kwame to turn up now though, because we're literally into garbage time of the stream.
Yeah.
Like it's on brand. He turns up in the last fucking 10 minutes and don't mean shit. Well done. Thanks for showing up, Kwame.
Right. NFC 1 Scottish. The Inverclyde Goliaths and the Glasgow Tigers.
I'm taking the Tigers.
The Clydes Valley Blackhawks and the Aberdeen Roughnecks. I'm going the Roughnecks.
I'm taking the Roughnecks as well, but Tom would tell us that Clyde Valley's a good team, and I don't care.
And in that Scottish division, Scottish conference, we've got the worst versus the best. I'm going the best.
Mate, so Dunfermline Kings have lost 15 in a row.
16.
No, they're going for 16 now. King's game has no ref at the moment. Doesn't matter. King's team has no players. Or if they do, they're not worth it.
Don't it? The ref thing. Well, how did that happen? I thought
they're only sticking to like 16 games a week as opposed to like the 28 we've had in previous.
Because they've scheduled 3 Scottish games and they probably haven't got that many fucking crews up in Scotland.
Yeah. So they only had 1 Scottish game last week.
They had 1 Scottish game last week and they've now scheduled 3. So well done, Baffer. Right. Well done, Baffer. Do Dunfermline score this week? They've been shut out in 11 of their 12 last games, and they're now playing arguably.
I'll say definite. I would go for a shutout because they're playing the best team in the league.
I asked you, did Dunfermline score this week, and you said definite.
Yeah, definitely not. Is what I meant. Okay, you said, do they get shut out?
I said, did they score this week because they've been shut out?
Ah, sorry.
Right, so they don't score.
Game on, and it takes priority. Why does that? Is that a safeguarding thing? Under 19's game takes priority over an adult contact game. Weird. And also, why not have the games at the same location then if you can?
There's only one thing that I can say to the under 19's game taking priority over an adult game, and I've just sent it to you on WhatsApp. So feel free to share it on the screen if you can.
I can't. It's racist. Right. Let's.
What? No, it's not. How dare you?
His Kiwi roots showing through.
Don't you dare do that to me. Don't you fucking dare.
I can't share it. It's racist. It's not right. I can't do it.
Come on, put it in.
This is what he said.
This is what I have to say. It's the Michael Jordan meme. Fuck them kids. I don't care if an under 19 games takes precedence. How dare you say it's racist? You are killing me right now.
Right. Yeah, Oz gets cancelled.
Kwame's not happy with us calling him the garbage man. Dunfermline sounds like they need to get the first pick in the hypothetical Uniball draft. Mate, that would be an Eli Manning situation. I don't know if you know much about the NFL draft in 2004. It
went to one team and then another.
No, so San Diego Chargers had the first pick, and they were like, we're taking Eli Manning, and then Eli's old man was like, he will not play for San Diego. Like, you can draft him, he's not going to play for you. So then they forced a trade between San Diego and New York. New York drafted Phillip Rivers a few picks later, and then so Phillip Rivers went to San Diego, and Eli went to New York. But he just flat out said, he's like, I'm not playing. He's like, I'm not playing for San Diego. I'm not going to do it. You can draft me. It's a waste of a draft pick. I will never step foot on the field for your team. So if we have a Uniball draft and Dunfermline gets the number 1 pick, I feel like that's going to happen. Like that player is not going to Dunfermline. It's not happening.
Right, let's move on. Steam Rams. Darlington Steam Yorkshire Rams. Sorry.
Hang on. So we got the Roughnecks of Stags. Yeah, so we're moving on. Steam Rams. Yeah, Rams 100%. Like it's not even in question. The Steam
and they're like 70, 80 points. Like
it's possible if the running clock allows it. I'd say at least 60.
Like, the Rams are ruthless, man.
No, I know, but Kings have improved this year from last. Yeah, it's not hard when you're at the bottom. You can go a millimeter above the bottom.
Is this Tom? He's with the Stags, isn't he?
Yeah, Tom's with the Stags. He's been placating. Like, fuck off.
It's the diplomat.
Yeah, Tom, fuck off.
You're going to go there and your team are going to fuck them over.
Tom,
you're going to show no mercy.
Mate, I love you, Tom. I do. And I'm so grateful for all the content because we don't have a lot of Scottish input. So Tom is king of the Scottish input. Outside of the Breens. I say we don't have a lot of Scottish content. We have
Tony.
True. Sorry, I forgot Tony was Scottish.
And the Breens.
Well, I don't care about the Breens, and they don't care about me. Like,
you guys are arguing. That'd be brilliant.
But Tom was providing. Okay, let me rephrase it. Tom was the king of our lower level Scottish content. Tom was providing us with Premier level Scottish. Tony was providing us with Premier level Scottish content, as was the Breens. But Chris was always sitting on the fucking fence because we'd be like, "How are the Roughnecks going to go?" He's like, "I'm not even gonna predict the game."
Like, whereas me, I'm like, if that's the Aztecs, I'm like, win.
What does Oz know about football? So Emrich Sports, like,
I think the guy's name's Mika. He does his own brickball content.
Mate, I'm in a fucking fancy football league with Micah. Mate, I'm in a fancy football league with Micah. Who wins Cambridge or Warriors? The Warriors. Get out of here.
Said that, yeah.
But don't test me, Micah, because I know things about you that you asked me if not to say, right? So I'll fucking don't test. I'll out you on this stream right here and now.
See, Micah should.
See, that is a panic. That is
He
a
should
panic
be.
comedy.
He should be presenting this show instead of me. I don't want to do it. He can do it.
Yeah, I'll bring him on.
Yeah,
he knows football. He knows Britball.
yeah, he does. Yeah.
He's played Britball for years.
Right, NFC 1 South, Chester Romans versus the Steelers. Bye. Chester Romans versus the Samwell Steelers. I've got to go Romans there. Chester Romans.
Yeah, well, the Steelers have conceded 50 points in 7 of their last 10 games. But do they concede?
You're reading off of LL Cool Piece.
I've got it on the other screen,
Yeah,
of course.
Okay, and then the Caesars Birmingham Bulls. Normally, I would have to be chewing over this one, but not this year. I'm going Caesars. Yeah, quite convincingly for me.
I'm not scared of Birmingham. Right, Hornets, Spartans. I think the free fall continues for Essex. I do. I think.
Unfortunately, the Hornets. I go Hornets on that one.
Yeah. Rushmore, South Wales.
61 West, South Wales and Rushmore. I'm going Rushmore.
Yeah, I'm picking Rushmore. I think.
Are you?
Yeah. I think it was an anomaly that we saw for South Wales against Bournemouth. I think.
Do you? Because of what you've heard from someone at Bournemouth?
No, just because
people that lose will always fire out excuses, right? It's going to be subjective.
Oh yeah, I just don't like South Wales.
Yeah, me neither. Right, so, well, I want to like them. I'll get to like them eventually, but they've got. I just need more time.
I am not welcome on the other side of the Severn Bridge. So.
Right, Oxford takes. This is the game we're going to live stream this week. Oxford takes Bournemouth Bobcats. I'm back in Oxford.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I love you for it.
Yeah.
Bournemouth all the day.
Mate, I've seen them play. Maybe I just fall in love with the clubs that I see a lot of, but like I've seen them play a few games now because of our live streams. They're a good side, and they start like the last game they played. They started to click, and they gave the Bristol Apache a bit of a scare. The Apache came back and won the game, but Oxford have got some tools that they're getting better at using, and they're playing at home. And yeah, I feel confident. I feel good backing them. I think it's it's not a pity backing. It's I think they're going to shock some people this year with a couple of games.
Okay. I'm taking Bournemouth. I believe that there was a hiccup against South Wales, and I think they'll get back to form.
Cheetahs Apache again. Haven't seen both teams play. I'm going Cheetahs.
I'm going Cheetahs. I think I'm at the moment. I am treating the Cheetahs.
Number 70 from the comment there. Got number 70 from the Oxford Town to give up 45 yards in flags. Yeah, he was the reason that the in my opinion that the Apache were able to come back into the game.
Was that the guy who got the roughing and then the unsportsmanlike conduct or something?
Yeah, he got two penalties and put them in the red zone, and it was just like, come on,
right?
But it was the lack of remorse. He just stood there on the sideline at this fucking tower. He's a huge geezer. No one moaning at him. No coaches yelling at him. He just was like, oh. And I was like, come on. I would probably go and headbutt him if I was on his team. I'd have lost it.
Mate, why wait till you were there? Why wait till you're on the team?
I almost climbed down my little tower and run over. Headbutt his stomach.
Yeah. To me at the moment, and I mean this as a compliment, Hertfordshire a Poundland London Warriors at the moment. I'm going to keep picking them to win until they don't.
A Poundland London Warriors?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is meant as a compliment. Like I know Poundland is
I took it as a compliment. I took it that you meant it as a compliment.
Like in their division at the moment, I'm treating them
like the London Warriors.
I treat them the same way I treat the Warriors. Until somebody beats them, I'm not going to pick against them.
Okay, fair enough.
Each week, Hertfordshire to win.
Right, let's move on to NFC 2 East, where the DC Presidents play host to the Gateshead Senators. I've got to go Senators.
Oh, have to.
They've had a really bad couple of last two results.
That's what I was going to say. It's like the confidence that I felt in them coming into the season is gone.
Yeah.
But Hearts should play I believe Hearts will play.
I don't think so.
Oh no, they're in a different div. They are in a different div, and they're not cross-divving those two.
No, the cross divs are only at the div 2.
Yeah, no, they are. Yeah, so
Cross
the
conference.
Olympians are SFC 1 Central, Hearts are SFC 1 West.
This
DCM 1 since 2013. Yeah. That's it. It's not changing now. It's not changing in 2023.
This is a brilliant game. This might be my game of the week. NFC 2 West, Staffordshire Surge versus the Shropshire Revolution. We were just talking about how do these two match up.
Because we've only seen each of them play one game.
Yeah. So who are you going for? Because I'm going the opposite team. And I'd like to go for Shropshire, but I'll go for whoever you don't.
All right, yeah. You can take Shropshire and I'll take Staffordshire then.
Okay, cool,
I have no dog in this fight. I don't, mate. I would never clue who's going to win this. But I'll take the Surge so you can have the Revs.
Okay. And then we got Cardinals Thunder in the SFC 2 East.
Mate, there is more than 16 games this week.
Yeah. How many more?
2 more. These 2. We've just hit 16 now.
Wow. So Ipswich Cardinals play the Sussex Thunder in the SFC 2 East.
I've got to pick Ipswich.
Cardinals.
I've got to take the Cardinals. I don't want to, but I have to, just because I dislike the Thunder more, and I think the Thunder are a worse team.
And Colchester Gladiators play the East Kent Mavericks. Do you know what? Normally, and probably for the last 7 years, I would have gone Colchester in this, but I'm going the East Kent Mavericks.
Mate, this is weird. This is like, I say it's not weird. This is the 2 undefeated teams left in that division, both 2-0. And you're taking the Mavs?
Yeah.
I think I'm taking the Mavs as well. I think they're looking great so far this year.
Yeah.
Colchester haven't looked bad. I think it'd be a good game, but I'm taking the Mavs.
So Kwame's asked are there enough refs? There's
Scotland.
not. We've already had that confirmed.
Not in Scotland.
So there's a game. We don't know if there's any other games throughout the leagues that don't have ref coverage, but we know there's one in Scotland that doesn't look like they do.
IG level 1 cert. Yeah, they're going to send you off to fucking ref the Dunfermline game.
Yeah. Cool.
Looks like you're the number 1 pick in that Uniball draft there, Kwame. You're off to Dunfermline.
I did have a topic to discuss. That's one of the things that people message me, but we're going now. We'll do it next week.
We spent too long talking about the Warriors. Is what it was.
I don't know what we spent so much time. I felt like we distributed it quite evenly across the games. We
spent a good 15 minutes. We spent a good 15 minutes on the Warriors.
Shit. I like to just talk about nothing, and people be like, "Why are you talking about the weather?" For example.
Let's next week we'll try blitz through the rundowns, and then we'll take an intermission of just chatting shit before we do the previews. One approach to be a ref once the criteria was, are you free on Sundays?
Yeah. It's
Shocking.
I think it's definitely a problem that's eased. You can, the last couple of years, there's been bigger pushes recruitment for refs, and obviously we haven't. There's been rescheduling. BAFA's done their best to get rid of clubs, which I'm back. I'm cool with.
Mate,
just get rid of the clubs that are shit.
I was going to say.
Where the games that you've got teams of refs, 4 or 5 refs traveling to a game to then find out a team's forfeited. Yeah. I'm cool with BAFA coming down hard on that. They should do, So but we're certainly not out of the woods, but certainly a lot better coverage than we have had.
So we've got one crew doing both the Tigers versus Inverclyde and Aberdeen versus Clyde Valley, so the double header, and then the second crew is doing the under-19 game.
So why can't the under-19 game be playing at the same venue as the other game, the Stags Kings? Like that would make sense to me, especially if the preference is for 19s over seniors, or one over the other.
Mate, we've seen some of the Scottish games been pushed to a Saturday already. Why the fuck can't the under-19s play on a Saturday?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well. So yesterday was an under-19s game followed by a senior game, same refs. Yeah. So
we've seen. Well, we saw the last Glasgow game was pushed to a Saturday. That was a Saturday game, and we had no idea it was on. So
I don't know. Obviously, we don't know the inside information on it, but it just feels like that to me is the thing that pops up as soon as someone said like, "Oh, this game's taking precedence over it," the priority or whatever they said. Why not put them together?
No, registration fees will never be free.
Refs, he meant.
Yeah, I know he did. And he jumped on it so quick. He's like, they're going to fucking say something.
Would the refs be free on a Saturday or a crew of refs free on a Saturday, right? You've got 2 crews there.
Yeah,
but
well, that's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
It's like if you push the game to a Saturday, then you've got to go to the refs and go, look, can you guys do Saturday? And the refs like, you know what? I didn't want a fucking weekend this week anyway. You know, I've already refed the game on Sunday. Now you want me to ref on Saturday as well? So
yeah, it's a tough problem. But like I said, I've definitely noticed an improvement in the last couple of years in terms of ref availability and scheduling, and I think it's multifaceted. There's a lot of things have contributed to that. And it's better for the game. You know, like with having less forfeited games is better for the game.
100%.
Having less teams, team saturation in different areas, or having a team just in the middle of fucking nowhere, that doesn't have much of a catchment and is really tough to get to. Phantoms.
Fairness.
Yeah, and if you look at Furnace on the map compared to where all the other teams are, you're like, that's just a pain in the ass with a location.
Wasn't Jurassic Coast an absolute cunt to get to as well?
No, I think that just next to Bournemouth.
Is it? I don't know where Jurassic Coast is. It just to me it sounds like you got to go back 300 million years.
Yeah. You need a time machine, but everyone's got one of them now. Send Nate Coast to Scotland.
No SFC2 games west this week.
But that's the other thing. Like, so if you've got if there are any referees sat in their ass this weekend watching our live stream, which I'd love them to, but then there's really bad scheduling, really poor resource management. If there's no games in areas which are starving referees have been able to cover them, then you've had poor scheduling. I don't know that that's the place.
Tell you what, if I'm in Cumbria. I'm in Cumbria 2 weeks from now. I'm off to the Safari Zoo in Cumbria. So I'll ref a game that weekend if there's a game in Cumbria. Oh, what was that? Carlisle folded. Guess I won't be riffing a game.
Carlisle. The Kestrels.
The Kestrels. Right, we're at 2 hours.
Didn't even make out the gates, did they? They had a really poor logo and they're just nothing else. And then it was like,
doomed from the start.
We fold. Like, we're done.
Doomed from the start.
They didn't even deal out all the cards to everyone yet. They folded straight away.
Didn't even get to the turn of the river.
Actually, keep the rest of them cards, mate. We're leaving the table, all right? We're fucking done.
They got Uno'd. They got the first +4 slapped on them, and they're like, I quit.
Go on. I know some refs are unavailable due to injuries and illness. Yeah, that's a good point. There was Mike was telling me, I heard some refs talking about
to the grapevine.
Ollie Maskell, I think it's Ollie Maskell, got high load. So I got hit low, I think, and then hit high by two different players and got quite badly banged up.
I'm glad it was by two different players. Otherwise, that dude is ultra flexible.
Yeah, I know by the same player.
He just fucking took his legs out, and as he's falling, he jumps up.
He's like, oh, sorry, I didn't see you. And the second time I hit you, I'm sorry, I forgot you were there.
The second time I hit you, I meant it.
Yeah,
right, come on, we're at 2 hours. It's 10 o'clock. I want to go have some dinner or something.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's a 2 hour live stream.
Cold sagaloo and bargies.
2 hours of my life wasted. Thanks very much, everyone.
We are Steve and Oz. We have been what are we called? The Rundown? Are we the Rundown?
Yeah, Rundown. And stay tuned for next week as Oz is joined by Micah. Bye.